Wanna cause no problems. I just wanna live my life, but I keep on hearing about nonsense. Me and my dons ain't mobsters, but you know when you see imposters. We know how to read them faces, same way you know how to read them comments. If you wanna talk, let's talk, but around here, make sure you walk and your talk is constant.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Death to Vanilla podcast. I am your host, Stephen Burkhart, and this is my co-host,
Rylynn Trader.
We started this podcast because we wanted to be able to challenge people to creatively create, boldly innovate, and experiment so that you can get better than normal results by doing something that's out of the box and different, something that is not vanilla. And so we wanted to share stories, experiences that we have, and experiences that we've heard from other people and seen from people at the highest level, and be able to use that as the source material to do something different and think differently. Yeah. And today we want to talk about storytelling, specifically with how we relate to the customer, right? Because a lot of businesses talk about themselves a lot. Obviously, it's important to talk about yourself some because right, you're trying to sell a service or product.
Definitely.
But the context in which that conversation happens can be customer specific from the audience's perspective, so on and so forth. So I'll pass it off to you because you got a lot to say about this, and I'll wrap it up. Yeah,
definitely. I think a big part of brands being able to relate to their customer is just humanizing themselves. It's sharing a funny story that happened during the day. It's maybe a struggle. Maybe you didn't get something loaded on time. Maybe something didn't go as planned. Maybe you're picking your kids up from school. You know, maybe it's something that just makes the customer feel like, yeah, I trust this person. I like this person. And I like their brand. I like what they stand for. It's continuously reminding your customer that A, you're human, and B, this is what you're passionate about. And that's why they should pick you over everyone else.
For sure. That actually makes me think about when we were, I know we use him as an example a lot, but when we were talking about stuff that we were doing for Helton Brewing, we had a conversation during one of the times that we were going back and forth on some content that we were making for him. And it was like, we're not making content for Helton Brewing. We're making content for Brian.
Yeah.
like he is a human being who's in charge of this business. And, I think it's like, I don't know, this is an unpopular opinion, but people always, like, because I thought about this today, people always bag on corporations, but small businesses are corporations too.
Yeah.
So I think what people mean when they say that is they don't like the fact that, like, they're a number in a thing. And when you have that, what presumably is a good small business experience is because you don't feel like a number.
Yeah.
And so when a brand humanizes themselves, then you're like, okay, like they're real people, and that feels less corporate.
Yeah, and you're just building the trust with your client, like I know that there's a good stat on it. I don't know if you want to share that about people trusting their clients.
I'm not sure I do. I was kidding. Is this one?
Yes, I believe so. I just can't read it.
Okay, so this is the Google one. More likely at a positive. Oh yeah, the positive perception. Yeah, so obviously this does make sense via numbers, real numbers as well. And there's actually a study that Google did. I'll read it off to you. 62% of customers say they're more likely to have a positive perception of a brand that shares values and beliefs similar to their own.
Yes. I think that I know we already talked about this too, but another good example is Bud Light. Like a lot of people had core values and beliefs, and then when they just recently went and made a choice for branding and messaging and marketing, a lot of those people, their values didn't align with that, unfortunately, and so Bud Light kind of took a loss. And you have to know your audience base, and they didn't build that trust with their clients. They broke it.
Right, exactly. And I think we're talking about, like, from your perspective, if you're the brand, if you're the small business owner, being able to, like, humanize and have people, like, really, like, root for you. But I think the other thing is you as the business owner actually taking on and telling stories from the perspective of the customer. And so being able to understand your audience better, you get to be able to tell the story from their perspective. And it can be oftentimes a little bit, I don't know, I can sometimes even feel a little, like, emotionally removed from the situation, in the sense that, like, I believe in my product so much, I think that people should use it, but like they have their own perspective about what their pain points are, and it's important to have the conversations of saying like, okay, well, like, what is it that you really want to accomplish in your business, and then seeing if what we do works for them, and being sad when it's not, but being happy when it is, right? And so, we try to have, like, here's a great example. One of the ways that I started talking about what we do with Burkhart Creative Agency is that we want to have that sigh of relief for a business owner, knowing that there's someone in their corner that is building an audience for them that is going to be turning into customers later on, and we are that person doing that for them. And so that sigh of relief was something that me as a business owner has felt before, like even just in like hiring you and hiring Bruce, knowing that like someone's editing video when I have to like do other things, like take phone calls or like a vacation, God forbid, or whatever else. Like, you know what I mean? Like something's always happening behind the scenes, and the ball's always being moved forward, even without my direct involvement. And that's like a huge barrier that lots of like solopreneurs or small business owners with a couple of employees are experiencing, which is like each one of those hires is a sigh of relief. Yeah. And I mean, when they hire us, they're actually like our biggest package right now is like $3,000 a month, which is like an unheard ofly low like salary for someone. Like they're looking at $36,000 a year. Like you can't hire a marketing person for $36,000 a year. Yeah. And that doesn't even include benefits and insurance and all the other things you'd have to have on them. So it's not the true cost of an employee. And so for us, it's like, okay, like not only are we helping them out financially, but we're just providing that sigh of relief. And so that's like our perspective on like from the customer. It's like, I know I've been in a place where like I needed a sigh of relief knowing someone else was taking care of something, and we want to like use that same language and those same emotions because that's what they're experiencing too. Yeah. And that's how we're relating with them.
Definitely. That's our story, if you will.
Right. Here we are talking about the audience, and we're talking about ourselves. But I mean, that is the language that we've decided to use for that. And and I think it's important. It's important to put that stuff out there and make it relatable because, wowzle. I don't know if I ever feel like I'm saying it right. Found that 84% of consumers have been convinced to make a purchase after watching a brand's video. So like these videos are making a difference in purchasing decisions that clients are making. And if you're able to communicate to them into a way that like is how they talk and is how they think and is how they feel, you just boosted your chances pretty significantly that you're actually going to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a good thing, making some money. So
well, you ain't paying for marketing for free or for fun.
Yeah,
right?
true.
It ain't for free either. Even if you're doing it for free, you're using your time, which could be better spent building your business, and you're learning how to like video edit instead or something. Yeah, it seems silly. So, anyways, so I guess the big takeaway from this is learn how to communicate from the perspective of your audience. And be vulnerable and tell your stories of your ups and downs. So that way people are rooting for you and they're connecting with you, and that will move the needle for you. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents.
There it is. Whoop, there it is.
Thank you guys so much for watching. So grateful to have you be a part of our audience, be able to watch. Otherwise, we'd be just two people.
Just gabbing away.
That's right.
Just,
So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to send us a message. Let us know how you're communicating to your audience. Are you a Donald Miller fan? Do you want to do that kind of thing? Do you have another way that you think about how you communicate to your customers? We'd love to hear. And if you're having challenges with that, if you're like, I know what I do, I know what my services are, but I just can't seem to connect with my customers, let us know. We'll help you navigate that. We love to make life easier for small business owners and help them succeed because we're all just trying to live our dream. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you courageously create, boldly innovate, and experiment. Thank you so much for watching.
Wanna cause no problems. I just wanna live my life, but I keep on hearing about nonsense. Me and my dons ain't mobsters, but when you see imposters, we know how to read them faces, same way you know how to read them comments. If you wanna talk, let's talk, but around here, make sure you walk and your talk is constant.